freeze an 80-year-old man, son, and 10 other inmates in Eket and Ikorabasi Correctional Centers. Concerned citizens assesses the just concluded 2023 general elections. Plus, Nigerians call on financial institutions to involve POS operators in money transactions to ease burden of money scarcity. Good evening and thanks for joining us. My name is Joy Ubani. This news is coming to you live on Star Times Channel 103 and on our social media platforms, Facebook and YouTube. And now to the news. An 80-year-old man and son and 10 others inmates awaiting a trial at Eket and Ikorabasi Correctional Centers have been discharged unconditionally alongside some compassionate grants with a charge to be of good behaviors and reunite with their families. The Akwa Ibom State Chief Judge Justice Ekaete Obot gave the charge during her inspection tour of the facilities. John Paul Alumina reports that the discharged inmates are thankful for their pardon granted.
The Akwa Ibom State Chief Judge Justice Ekaete Obot and her entourage on arrival at Eket and Ikorabasi Correctional Centers inspected the facilities and inmates before proceeding for the court sitting. During the court session at Ikorabasi Center, Justice Obot cross-examined the case files of inmates on awaiting trial with police legal team and Department of Public Prosecution DPP, and later released 3 inmates without conditions.
Has been informed that the case file is missing. I am compelled in the circumstance to discharge him unconditionally, and he is so discharged for months of prosecution.
At the Eket Correctional Center with a capacity for 128 inmates, but currently overstretched with 300 inmates due to delayed trial, the Chief Judge discharged 9 inmates, including an 80-year-old man and his son, who were confined for contempt of court and land dispute. She explained that the gesture is to decongest correctional centers and encourage speedy trial of inmates in the state.
Today we will be able to get some of them out of here, either to plead with the authorities to provide for more sleeping facilities to care for them.
The State Controller of Corrections, Julius Izugu, commended the State Chief Judge for discharging the inmates, noting that it will give hope to other inmates.
It's a golden opportunity that they got for them to go and live a law-abiding life. And for them live a life of crime, not live a life of crime, but they should try and live a law-abiding life. And the useful citizens of this country.
When this news of your second inspection got to them, the image of this hospital center lived for joy that you are coming a day to help them to get the much desired freedom.
This lordship was here last year. We had a population of more than 380 of them. But by the grace of God, the judicial process reduced the number to 300 as we have today. It is a sign to show that the state judiciary is at work.
Some relief materials were presented to the centers inspected. From Eket, John Paul Alumina, NTA News.
A few days back, attention was on the polling units, and with the governorship election over in Akwa Ibom State, the court will soon be the next arena of electoral competition. Clement Barikuya praises the governorship election in Akwa Ibom State and what Nigerians are expecting from the judiciary.
I give it to them. It was peaceful, and INEC equipments were, unlike what happened in the presidential election, were up to date, at least in major places.
Generally, you saw that it was freest election. See, people, believed, trust with what the INEC was doing.
Yes, it was a peaceful poll in Akwa Ibom State, but such assessment of the governorship election does not take away the right of aggrieved persons to approach the law court, which in this instance starts from the tribunal. As it has always been, the court will determine the final vote in all election disputes it entertains. But going by the provisions of the Electoral Act 2022, not all persons can be parties to an election dispute. Time frames are sacrosanct, and grounds for challenging an election must be recognized by law.
The process of those who have gone to court is dependent on how they marshal out their cases. They gather their evidence in a manner that is believable. It's not a matter of going to get SAN. SAN comes, you pay so much money to SAN that wins the case. Let it be in an acceptable form. Present it. The courts and the tribunals will not deny you. If you are able to persuade them, convince them.
The court has always been regarded as the last hope of the common man, and some Nigerians pray it remains so, particularly as election petitions start coming in.
It is painful for somebody to go out and cast his vote, at the end they upturn it in your very eyes. It is very painful. So let the judiciary bring hope to Nigeria. They are the only people that are carrying the candle of hope for this country.
I tell you, I say have confidence on judiciary. Where there are some lapses, we expect there should be improvement. Because there are some judgments that are given per incuriam. People know it.
We're having corruptible judges in this country. We're having corruptible judges in this state. The conditions, their work conditions may not be good, but they are doing their best to ensure that they dispense justice.
It takes approximately 8 months to resolve a dispute on national and state assembly elections, 10 months in the case of a governorship election petition, and 8 months to determine a presidential election petition. By implication, the attention of Nigerians will remain on the judiciary even after May 29 swearing-in date. In Uyo, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
See on a nation matter, following the conclusion of the governorship and state assemblies elections held on 18th March 2023, an INEC accredited observer coalition group, Center for Credible Leadership and Citizens Awareness, has released preliminary election observation. This was while briefing the press after the elections in Calabar. Paul Abel brings us the details.
As a democratic sovereign state practices the presidential system of government, but over the years in our political history has experienced challenges in transition. Hence, INEC accredited domestic and foreign observers to assess INEC itself, political stakeholders, law enforcement agencies, among others, on the degree of compliance to the Electoral Act 2022 and the Constitution, as well as give unbiased reports. It is on this premise, this domestic observer coalition commends the performance of the beavers by a 97% accuracy rate, security operatives and other stakeholders in the success of the Cross River Governorship and State House of Assembly polls.
Having analyzed INEC's logistics in the distribution of sensitive and non-sensitive materials, the performance of the BVAS technology, the IREF viewing portals, the uploading of the results from the polling unit level, that is the Form EC8A series, we can therefore say that this election in Cross River State was conducted consistent to the electoral guidelines provided by INEC. We hereby state unequivocally that the governorship and state assembly elections of 18th March 2023 in Cross River State is transparent, free, fair, and credible.
The group also speak on challenges of voter apathy, vote buying, pockets of violence, and others moving forward.
We observed that during collation at Obanliku local government, some desperate politicians attempted to introduce or to induce the collation officers to alter already collected results. Hoodlums armed with guns and other dangerous materials attacked Ogoja local government area INEC collation center with an intent of disrupting the collation. But I think it's a work in progress, it's not yet in Uru.
The election observer also advised losers to embrace the spirit of sportsmanship and congratulate the winners. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the 2023 general elections came with strategies and innovation geared towards improving the credibility of the process and its acceptance by the electorate. In this report, Kanayo Okoro assesses the electoral process, especially the introduction of bimodal voters accreditation system, BVAS, by the electoral umpire.
Prior to 2023 general elections, the electoral umpire adopted different measures to ensure that electorates have confidence in the exercise by introducing the bimodal voters accreditation system towards improving credibility and reducing electoral malpractices. Some respondents who commended the Independent National Electoral Commission for introducing technology in the electoral process said much is still needed to be done in order to build more confidence in the country's election.
The INEC, as the organ that takes care of this very important assignment, did their best. The introduction to the new technology into Nigerian election is the most important thing that need to be promoted, need to be sustained, need to be given a very good ground to stand. Unlike other elections that when voters are accredited, you will not know the exact number accredited, thereby the whole ballot papers that are issued will be used by unknown persons and the election will end up being rigged. So BVAS has actually helped so far by limiting the number of voters to the only accredited ones.
Well, they should try more. What they did actually helps, but not completely.
They emphasize the need for the election to be fully digitized so that people can vote wherever they are, which will help reduce security threats and snatching of ballot boxes during elections.
Because the frustration we got in uploading the results was actually what causes the rumor and the clash we had there.
For the electorates, autonomy of the electoral umpire in all ramifications will further strengthen citizens' confidence in the process. In Abakaliki, Kana Yokuru, NTA News.
Nigerians are calling on financial institutions to carry POS operators along with them. This report will come your way after this short break. Please stay.
Come, feel the luxury of our contemporary hotel. We offer lodging and accommodation. Stay at our deluxe executive and luxury suite for your comfort. Experience extravagant dining and delicious meals by expert chef. Lounge at our exquisite VIP bar. Enjoy 24 hours power supply with free Wi-Fi services. Our security system is top-notch to ensure your safety. Ample parking space and laundry services available. The ambience is serene to make your stay memorable. We are located at number 1 Julius Patch Road off House of Assembly Avenue, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. For reservations, call 070-650-41139. Roseville Hotel, hospitality at its best.
Welcome back, and now to the rest of the news. Nigerians are calling on financial institutions to carry along POS operators in the aims of affairs in money transactions in Nigeria to ease the burden of money buying, which has continued to cause untold hardship to the masses despite central bank's directive on old and new naira currency usage concurrently in the country. And if you're edits who visited some POS locations, brings us the details.
Many Nigerians were hopeful that after the general election, the problem associated with accessibility of Naira and failure of service providers to ease financial transaction would be a thing of the past. The light at the end of the tunnel is yet to be seen, despite directive from CBN that the old and the new Naira note should be used side by side.
Since I went to bank without my bank to withdraw money, this is my bank card. I know if you withdraw. We have money inside bank and we can't use our money. It is red.
Before you go bank now, you want to collect money. It's very big problem. Why people get money for bank, they cannot remove to do something what him want to do it.
How can I suffer because of my money? Before I get money to feed my family, I buy it.
I thought when people say when the election is going to be run off, we're going to touch our monies, but from up till now, we cannot, touch our money. We are hungry. Even though you have money, there is no, someone cannot do transfer.
It's very difficult because since morning we are looking for a place to have cash and we are turning over the street. There's no POS, there's no place to assist money. So now we are trekking up and down.
POS operators who before now aided the decongestion of crowds in banking halls speak on their reasons for these exorbitant charges.
I am doing transfer. I'm not doing cash because there is no cash in the bank. And besides, there is no network.
It's very, very difficult because since this thing starts, I don't have money to run the business. It's only transfer and all those.
The charge is too much. They charge extra because they are buying money. That's what they will say, they are buying money. The only thing you can get is less of 3,000, you are paying nothing less than 1.5.
Nigerians are calling for the inclusion of POS operators by financial institutions to ease the burdens on the masses. In Uyo, Aniefiok Edet, NTA News.
Still on cash crunch, the federal government, through the orders of President Muhammadu Buhari and Supreme Court, said both the old and new Naira notes should coexist side by side as legal tender. Nigerians had a sigh of relief. In view of this, Chika Okori interacted with some residents of Umuahia to know how the recent orders have lessened their burden of accessing cash.
Excruciating pains, agony, and confusion have continued to be the stories of residents of Umuahia even after the federal government announced that the new and old Naira notes remain legal tenders. 2 weeks down the lane, queues at the commercial banks have persisted, with citizens who are lamenting the non-availability of either of the notes, calling for urgent and decisive actions.
That CBN should pump in the necessary cash, since they now have said that old 200, 500 and 1,000 Naira notes should reintroduced. So they should flood the banks with the necessary money so that the customers should not be undergoing this untold hardship.
I have been trying to get money, but it's not easy for me. My building, my tenant are paying me cash. This is the way that I'm managing life.
Some of them blamed some money agents, especially points of sale or POS operators, for standing in the gap between the federal government's order and the people by using the available cash for brisk business.
We withdraw from the POS people, but the charge is very, very high. So at times we withdraw from the POS people. Maybe you can go to the CJTI in Umuahia, you see POS people. You can ask for the people that is cutting lesser.
Those of them that are having the money, they are selling the money exorbitantly, and it's a bad thing that we are in a nation where we have to buy our money with money. Like I have a friend that bought 10,000 Naira, they'll give you 7,000 Naira. And some 10,000 Naira, they give you 6,000 Naira. It's happening around, which is not healthy.
Although the people have always shown resilience in the hope of a better country, they also want commercial banks to be properly checkmate, as well intensified the war against trading cash for cash by some money agents. In Umuahia, Chika Ukore, NTA News.
And that's the news. We thank you very much for being part of it. To be a star, let's join NTA campaign against rape and rapists. Until next time, good night.
Yogo in Yemen, Nangan Temboba Ufigubaka, Quaibum State, Akekate, Unen, Ado, Muto, Mpembioro, Mboba, Ufigubak, Ame Merai Wood Ukara, even Unenewu, Iyaresat issue, Ntebara Kembeng idem Erika Isuipe, Nte Asegate Okeda, Eko to tribunal. Nangante Asedagado, Isobeya baby Oroke Patreke Bangake, Afat Mboba Ufigubak. Nkontesa ngake kibet ufigubak amiswa 2022 awrobo kidogo afrewu ekeme erifanga mbuba ufigubak nko anambet yesup idiongo ntak amawo benne iboro mbuba ufigubak akaikpe kemmiragantum merangaranga awu idiongo ebo kerika ikpe aro patre idroyen ommo kemi mbono wo kirutnyan esebongo kam eyem yakno utori na mami asongora akpan kini mboba ufigubak ama kuwenge mbokwanam no eriyong ebu keserat ofyong itiaita kerikpe ikpe mbangan lutam mboba ufigubak ame akamba ufogutumu bombet yufogutumu bombet ame state kini ame meraiwood ukara state adogo ofyong dup nko ame araiwood ukara irutnyan ado ofyong itiaita Kemi anyen akikere ye idroyen mbonogu abi sana kikpe ye uforo eso kema eso no unwongo nsugi wood ema ko yogusen edap musoket ko fiong ition meku yo uwe medi mo Samson okombok NTA
Morida nyina sino ye good mo fo to wona ma ko eded nyina ebo ya ben bono na mbu bere di on tembon pio esesen kan nutum akong baratodo emana yo memfna una akwa kai so riben sompo nsok bono wo akbosodo de kamut foto wona ma ko ide nyina makebo ya ikama ufa ko mekana ko giden ni e kombo mi ito ko bo nyina ga sanga ka mention city asembo ba
Wambono wo kirut nyen nekeni idronyen ebo kema ikwenge mbuba ufegubok kemme mfana yubiongo aba akikbega kok irut nyen ayatre ado kemme dawa me ba yero kamu fogutum monome kok irut nyen ema ekeno uyo ebo yakno emana ekama nkana kok irut nyen ado mendu tememi isokki fon ima Bununam dubere akok kembe nusong eriyong kente POS operators eraga eyogo ufogutum unamekok ema etang mentak amemmo esekebo kok none kebun kewo mayem erisio kok ke POS Buno wogirut nyen ekurukara ebumbok yak no esugo nyen esendu tam yerinam mbun POS amin no fon manaturu adingwam mbuno wo kirut nyen mekuyo Uwemedimo Samson, Okombok NTA.
Okangin bok trim. Bagasen kanikadu. Eritemegi ko frefen membrome itenye. Eseri.
So Caravana Hotel and Suites, a place where hospitality is our priority.